Welcome to Section 2 of the tutorial for creating an interactive Excel dashboard. In this section, we will be creating the calculation division worksheet. Open the Excel file that you saved at the end of Section 1. Remember that these 5 sections need to be completed in order. This section has 4 steps. We will be working on the calculations worksheet for the divisions. We will be formatting the division pivot table and inserting a slicer. We will be creating data for the chart we will be creating and formatting. Finally, we will be creating text for the dashboard. Click on the pivot table in the calculation division worksheet that you created in Section 1. On the Design tab, click on Report Layout. In the drop-down box, click Show in Tabular Form. Click on the pivot table. On the Design tab, click on Grand Totals. In the drop-down box, click on Off for Rows and Columns. Click on the pivot table. On the Pivot Table Analyze tab, click on Insert Slicer. In the drop-down box, click on Division. Click OK. Drag the slicer's bottom frame up to hide the Office Supplies button, the one with the error. Now we have created the slicer we will need in a later step. Now we need to create the data we will be using in the chart. Type Year in cell C5 and Current in cell C6. Next, list the regions in cells I4 through I8. Type Sales in cell J3, Max in cell K3, and Average in cell L3. Click in cell J4, go to the formula bar, and type equal sum ifs parentheses. You will see the formula being built in the cell J4 as well as where you are typing in the formula bar. Navigate to the Transactions table and click in cell J2. Then hit Command plus Shift plus arrow down. Next, add a comma to the end of your formula. Keep in mind we are continuing to build this formula, so don't hit Enter yet. Click in cell B2 of the data worksheet and hit Command plus Shift plus arrow down. Add another comma to the end of your formula. Navigate back to the calculation division worksheet and click on cell C6. Hit F4 to make it absolute, meaning that you are fixing the location of that cell, that it will not change when you copy the formula to another cell. Add another comma to the end of your formula. Navigate to the Transactions table and click in cell F2. Then hit Command plus Shift plus arrow down. Add another comma to the end of your formula. Navigate back to the calculation division worksheet and click in cell B6. Hit F4 to make it absolute. Add another comma to the end of the formula. Navigate to the Transactions table and click in cell D2. Then hit Command plus Shift plus arrow down. Add another comma to the end of your formula. Navigate back to the calculation division worksheet and click in cell I4. Add a $sign before the I in the last cell reference. Finally, add a closed parentheses and hit Enter. Here is that formula enlarged so that you can see it better. The formula is listed on the screen. It is also listed in the notes to the PDF for this slide. That formula is pretty long and complex. You can copy and paste the formula from the student case handout into cell J4 in this worksheet. For this copy and paste process to work, you need to have used exactly the same cell addresses and names for everything in this tutorial. Also, to paste the formula into the cell, you need to click in cell J4 and then click in the formula bar and paste the formula into the formula bar itself rather than in the cell directly. Once you have that formula in cell J4, double-click the small box in the lower right corner of cell J4 to copy the formula to the rest of the column. Enter the formula for the max column in cell K4, pointing and clicking on cell references as you go. You are using the functions if and max. This time, all the cell references are in the calculation division worksheet. You are telling Excel if cell J4 contains the max value of the range J4 through J8, then display that number in the cell, otherwise display nothing. There are dollar signs around the cell addresses to fix those cell references in place when you copy the formula down to the other cells. Here's that formula enlarged so that you can see it better. The formula is also in the PDF notes of this slide. Again, this formula is pretty long. You can copy and paste the formula from the student case handout into cell K4 in this worksheet. Also, to paste the formula into the cell, you will need to click in cell K4 and then click in the formula bar and paste the formula into the formula bar itself rather than the cell directly. Next, double-click the small box in the corner of cell K4 to copy the formula to the rest of the column. Notice that the formula only returns a number in one of the rows because there is only one maximum. Enter the formula for the average column in cell L4 equal average, parenthesis, $J, $4, colon, $J, $8, parenthesis, and copy the formula down the rest of the column. Again, those dollar signs fix the cell locations in the reference so they do not change when we copy the formula to the other cells. Now we are going to format the numbers so they are easier to read. Select cells J4 through L8 and right-click. In the drop-down menu, click Format Cells. In the Format Cells dialog box, click on Accounting Number Format. Use the arrows to reduce decimal places to 0. Click OK. The accounting number format puts a dollar sign at the far left of the cell and inserts a comma as a thousand separator. It also inserts 2 decimal places, but we will be using 0 decimal places here. Now we are going to be creating and formatting a chart of the data. Select cells I3 through L8. On the Insert tab, click the bar chart icon. In the drop-down menu, click on the clustered column chart. To make our chart easier to read, we want to remove the title, grid lines, series, and legend. Click on the unwanted elements of the chart and hit the Delete key on your keyboard to make them disappear. Now we are going to be making our chart even easier to read by making an average line that runs through the bar chart. Right-click on any of the average columns in your chart. In the drop-down box, click on Change Chart Type. In the next drop-down box, click on the Line Type Chart, then choose the first line option. Right-click on the average line in your chart. In the drop-down box, click on Format Data Series. In the Format Data Series dialog box, change Width to 0.75 point. Next, click on Dash Type. In the drop-down box, choose the round dot dash type. Right-click on any column in your chart. In the drop-down box, click on Format Data Series. In the Format Data Series dialog box, change the series overlap and gap width to 100%. Right-click on any column in your chart. In the drop-down box, click on Add Data Labels. Your chart is complete. The dotted line represents the average sales, while the orange bar serves to draw attention to the maximum amount of sales. Now for the next step, creating text for the dashboard. In cell B10, type the formula equals sum parenthesis J4 through J8 end parentheses. You can click on cell J4 and drag your mouse down to cell J8 instead of typing the formula again for the rest of the cells in that formula. Then hit Enter. In cell B11, type formula equals and the formula as you see it on the screen. Again, you can click on cell B6 instead of typing it in. That formula is listed in the notes of the PDF for this slide. Here's the formula enlarged so you can see it better. Again, it's in the PDF notes. Since that is another long formula, you can copy and paste the formula from the student case handout into cell B11 in this worksheet. Also, to paste the formula into the cell, you need to click in cell B11 and then click in the formula bar and paste the formula into the formula bar itself rather than the cell directly. In cell B12, type the formula as shown on the screen. Again, it's in the PDF notes. I've enlarged it here. And once again, that's a long formula. So you can copy and paste the formula from the student case handout into cell B12 in this worksheet. Also, to paste the formula into the cell, remember you cannot paste it directly in the cell, but you need to paste it into the formula bar. In cell B13, we're going to be typing this XLOOKUP formula. I have it enlarged here so you can see it better. It is in the PDF for the notes. And that's another long formula. You can copy and paste the formula from the student case handout into cell B13 in this worksheet. Remember, again, you have to paste it into the formula bar for the cell rather than the cell directly. We are now done with section 2 of this project. Please save your Excel file. You will be using the file for the next section of this project.